Hello guys, in this session we are going to understand the concept of conditionals in shell scripts. Sometimes we require to add some conditions in our shell scripts before we execute any commands. For example, we want to check if number is greater than 10. Based on that, we will be executing few commands. You are going through the mark sheet for students and you have to decide whether student is passing or failing. You will be checking if the final percentage is greater than 50, it is pass. If percentage is less than 50, it is considered as fail. So there are few conditions which we can add. Sometimes we feel like, okay, if we want to add some else condition means to say if percentage is greater than 50, it is pass, else it is fail. Okay, there are two different types of conditions. One is if condition and other one is if else condition. Okay, so for that we will be making use of conditional operators. Okay, there are two things. We can work on strings and we can work on integers. Okay, if we have to match two strings means collection of letters, we call it as words. Okay, string 1, if we have to compare two strings, if two strings are equal, is equals to string 2. If this thing returns you true, it means if this condition is true, it means two strings are equal. If we have to match that two strings are not equal, then which operator I will be using? I will be using exclamation equal to. Okay, how we will be using that, I'll be telling you in the next step. These are the operators we will be using. Let's suppose I have to match if two numbers are greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, or how it will be. So let me show it to you. If I have to match two integers, so I can use this expression, this keyword minus eq. It means if two integers are equal, minus ne stands for not equal to, gt stands for greater than, ge stands for greater than, equal to, lt stands for less than, le stands for less than, equal to. Okay, so we will be using if conditions with strings or integers most of the times. So how we will be using that? So now I'm going to show you a couple of examples with the help of which you will be able to understand how we will be adding conditions in our shell script. We need to understand one basic syntax. If condition starts with if and ends with fi. Okay, if condition starts with if and ends with fi. So what will happen? There are square brackets. In these square brackets, I will be adding my condition. If this condition will be true, semicolon, then this block of statements will be executed, otherwise not. Line number 28, 29, and 30. Let's suppose there are few commands. Command 1, command 2, command 3. These three commands will only be executed if this condition is true. If this condition is false, it will skip this part. This is the basic syntax which we all need to understand. Okay, so I will give you one simple example in which we are going to check whether number is greater than 10 or not. Okay, so let's check. I'm going to create one script called check number.sh. So this is a shell in which I want my script to run. Working on if condition. This is simple if condition. So we'll be asking user to enter the number. Read minus p, enter the number. So user will be entering the number. We will be saving it in a variable called num. So this message will be printed, and then user will be entering one number. So that number what user will be entering will be saved in this particular variable. Okay. So now after that, what we will do, we will be checking this number using if condition. So this check will be coming here. Okay. If square brackets as simple as that. So let me add condition. To access the value of num, I will be using $num. So now it is an integer. I want to check whether number is greater than 10 or not. Minus gt and 10. So what will happen? If this condition evaluates to be true, that's it. So I will just indent this. So this is one simple script. Okay. So let me save it. I will give execute permissions. So now let me show you the script one more time. So this script is of 11 lines. In line number 1, we say it as the shell which my script should be using. These are the comments. Always remember you will be adding some descriptive comments about the script. In line number 7, we are asking user to enter the number. User will be entering the number, and the value that user will be entering will be saved in this variable. We are using this variable in this particular command. $num will be replaced by the value. Let's suppose user enters 12. So 12 will be saved here. $num, it will replace 12 here. 12 is greater than 10. Okay, this condition is true. It will be evaluated, and that's it. This command will be executed. Let's suppose user is entering 8. 8 will be coming here. Then 8 minus gt. 8 is greater than 10. No, it is false. So then line number 10 will not be executed. Are you guys with me on this? So let's execute that. Enter the number 12. Number is greater than 10. Let's check again. Enter the number 7. So this condition was false, so this command is not executed. So based on certain conditions only, we would be executing commands. Okay, so this echo command is executed only if this condition evaluates to be true. So let me add this. After this, I'm just writing echo. The weather is good today. So what if now, what will happen now? So we will be executing this script in sequence. User will be entering the number. Number will be checked here. After that, this command is individual. This command will be executed without any condition because there is no condition around. It is not in the block of state. It is not in the if block. It is independent. So this will be executed always. Okay. If number is less than or greater than, doesn't matter. Okay. So you see, it is telling there is a syntax error. Line number 14. Line number 14, I can see that I started with single quote but ended with double quote. So that was an issue. So this was an intentional error which I did. The reason being that whenever you will be executing the shell script, you will be seeing some errors. So based on these error messages, you can figure out what exactly is an issue. So what we will do, so we will be changing it. So we will be executing it again, line number 5. So yeah, the number is less than 10, so it is not printed. So now let me execute one more time with number 12. So now this condition is true, so that's why this line gets executed. So this is an example of simple if condition where I have shown you conditions checking for integers. So let me show you one example in which you will be making use of strings. So when there is a string, right? String is collection of letters or words we want to match. So I always recommend to add quotes around that. Okay. I will write check one passcode. So if I have a passcode, let's suppose the passcode is test123. If user enters that correctly, then the string matches, then it is success, otherwise failure. Okay. So I will be asking passcode from the user. Okay. It is a password to open the file, let's suppose. So it is a password to make a connection to database, or it is a passcode to check whether it is a valid user. We are just getting one string from user and matching it. So I will be saving it in variable called passcode. So now I always will be doing this, then apply. So now I can add condition. Okay. Dollar passcode is equals to test123. If this is matching, if user enters test123, then passcode matched. That's it. So let me show you this script one more time. So in this case, we are taking value as a string. Normally, passwords can be masked as well. So what happens when someone should type password, it should not be visible. So this is just an example. So you can also mask the password while you are typing. Mask means to say it will not be visible what you are typing. But this is just an example of taking the string from the user. So we are using this example. So this is the shell which my script will be using. We will be asking one string from user. So we will be matching that string. If that string is equals to, if that string matches this particular test 1, 2, 3, then it is matched, otherwise not. So let me I just entered text. So the condition is going to be false and this line should not be getting executed. So it is not getting executed. Let me try with test 1, 2, 3. So at this time, this is the correct passcode. So this value will be saved here, it will be replaced here, and it will be matched again this. So this particular operator matches two strings. Okay, passcode matched. Are you guys with me? As simple as that. So we have seen integer comparison, string comparison. Okay. So let me show you one example in which we are checking whether if strings are not equal. If strings are not equal, let me modify this script. Okay. Instead of checking the success case, we will be checking the failure case. I will check not equal to. If passcode is not equal to test 1, 2, 3, so it is a, I can print that okay, it is a failure case, otherwise it is good. Okay. Correct. So if passcode is not matching, we are considering that the test is failing, right? So we have this one. Sometimes some people want to do it this way. They don't want to check the success case. They want to check the test 1, 2, 3. So nothing is matched. So now let me show you the script one time. So the user enters the code, it will be saved here. If the code does not match, then only it will print. If the code is matching like we did, it will not print anything. So this is an example of simple if condition. So now let me execute it with some incorrect code. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is showing me as a failure case. As simple as that. Are you guys with me on this? So now the thing is, in this case, like we have written two scripts till now, check number.sh. Check this script. Okay. What exactly it is doing? If number is greater than 10, print this thing. That's it. It is not doing anything else. I also want to add else condition. If this condition is true, it is doing this. If this condition evaluates to be true, then it is doing this. What will happen if this condition is not true? What will happen if this condition is false? So it means I want to add else part. If this thing is true, do this, else do this. Okay. So let me add else condition now. We are going to understand else condition. So example of syntax for else condition. If this condition is true, it is doing this. What I want, if this condition is true, then evaluate these, execute these commands. If this condition is false, then do this. So it will only go to this else part if this condition is false. Okay, so let me show you that. So I have this, I am going to delete this line. So this is a success. If the condition is true, then this will happen. So I'm adding this else part. So in this script, if this condition evaluates to be true, it is greater than 10. This is what I want to print. And if not, if the condition is false, then execute this statement. So what happens? User enters the number goes here, the number gets stored here, this number gets replaces here. So if let's suppose the user entered number 8, 8 is greater than 10. This condition is true or false? 8 is greater than 10. This condition is false. So it will go to this part. If user enters 12, 12 is greater than 10. Yes, it is true. Then it will go here. Okay. So one of these will be executed based on the result of a condition test. Thank you. Same way in this check string, this is when actually when we'll be using the password, we'll be masking that. Masking means to say user should not be seeing when typing the password. Okay. So this is the, or else after that here I will add else. So if the passcode is not matching, it is a failure case, and if it matches, it is a success case. That's good. So user enters the passcode. If it is not matching, we are not using the equal operator, we are using not equal operator. Okay, this we only use this when we are having strings. When we want to compare numbers, then we use these operators. Okay, so let me check passcode. Test 1 2 3. So in this case, what should be the result? If you can tell me, if I will enter this passcode, what will be printed as an output? Anyone who can tell me? Success case. Okay, so test 1 2 3 goes here. It is, so this says that okay, if it is not equal to, then print failure case, but it is equal, then it will go to success case. That's good. So let me try one more time with the, so now it goes to failure case because it is not matching. That's about it. So sometimes, one last example which I want to give you, sometimes we have two conditions to be checked. Sometimes we have multiple conditions to be checked. Okay. So have you seen that whenever we are trying to log in, we are entering username and password. So both username name and password should be correct. Then only your login is successful. So let me show you that. So, so if that is the case, you know what normally we do? So let me show you that. X condition 1, and you use double ampersand condition 2. Then let me show you that. We are going to enter, we are going to check username and password for the, let's suppose there is some system in which you guys are entering username and password, and you will be checking that. I'm going to create check login.sh. So beforehand we know that password username is admin and password is secret. Okay, so if user enters username and as admin and password as secret, then it is good, otherwise not. So if there are multiple conditions to be checked, how we can do that? So we are going to check login details. We are going to ask username and password from the user. Okay, so username will be saved here, password will be saved here. Okay, so we have an option where we can mask the password as well, but right now we are just using it. So password should not be shown while typing, but this is an example we are learning, so we're just entering it as a string. So this is the condition which we are having. We are asking $username is equals to admin, and at the same time password is also secret. So we are using these operators. So you see, we have used this double ampersand operator to have multiple conditions in place. If both of these conditions are true, then it is successful. If both of these conditions are not true at the same time, then login is not successful. Check login. So I'm going to add as admin. Secret login is successful. So let me add admin. Password is hello. So both the conditions are not true. It will be login is not successful. So this is how we will be adding multiple conditions. Let's suppose you have a requirement in which there are multiple conditions, but you can, it is successful if any one of the condition is true. So this is AND condition in which both the conditions are supposed to be true. Condition 1 and condition 2. If in case only one condition needs to be true, in that case, you know what will happen? We will be just replacing it with pipe simple. So when you add this symbol, it only checks if this condition is true, or if this condition is true, then it will execute that. Okay. So in this particular scenario, only one condition needs to be true. In this particular scenario, both the condition needs to be true for the success case. Are you guys with me on this?